Hello and welcome to Minecraft Levitated. So in the last episode, we were working on the terrestrial agglomeration plate and then getting some terrasteel. And you guys should have seen before the little intro there, us actually crafting our first piece of end steel, or terrasteel end steel. And yep, we crafted this up because we are going to need 9 terrasteel nuggets today. But before we get into our advancements, I want to go over some things we made off camera, such as this Rod of the Seas. So this Rod of the Seas is a water bottle, a living wood twig, and a rune of water. Now you can see right here that water bottling via right-clicking is disabled. Use a fluid tank. So we did that. We made this fluid tank here. Fluid tank is very easy to craft. It is just some iron bars, and a piece of glass. And basically we put water in this, we put our bottle over here, and it will fill it up. And what the Rod of the Seas does is at the cost of mana, we can now place water. Do I have... Ooh, things are loading in. It's still a little laggy. Yeah, we'll just throw like that. You can place water in, you can pick it back up with a bucket. Very nice thing to have, and also we use our band of mana. Now I did craft a cape, and we grabbed the crude halo that was over in the end island. These are things for wizardry, and we kind of messed around a little bit with wizardry, but nothing major. Basically I just made these. So we also made this guy, the Dank Knoll, and if we hover over it, it says it has 45 slots, and it can hold 3,200 items per slot, which is pretty neat. So we have the basic Dank Knoll here, which has 9 slots, and this is made out of redstone. We have the next tier, which is made out of lapis, coal, and glass. Then we have one made out of iron. We have one made out of gold. Then we have the version which we're using, which is diamonds, blocks of coal, and cyan glass. And then, of course, we do have one more upgrade, which is made out of emeralds, and we don't have the emeralds to make this. And then we have the creative, which we can't do. We can upgrade ours with just 4 of these little plates and make it bigger. It can hold a lot more items, but we're going to need, let's see, 16 emeralds, 16 blocks of coal. It's not a big deal, but the cool thing about this, if we shift right click into this, is we can hold a ton of items. So if we were to have, let's go grab a little bit of endstone. If we were to have this entire stack of endstone sitting on the ground, and let's say we're mining, and we pick this up, you can see it didn't go into our inventory, it instead went into this guy. And we need to shift click, and it's stored in here. This will store 3,200 items. Once we reach 3,200 items, it will start to delete them. But we can, of course, come over here and pull the items out and put them into our storage drawer, which already has 3,600 endstone, so I don't think we need much more than that. And this thing is really, really nice for mining. We are going to fill this up with more items once we have them, and you can shift and use your scroll wheel on it when there's more than one item in it. Let's just take out some wood. I'll show you guys that. So you can see we've got the endstone there. Now we've got the wood, and then if you right click, you can place the block down, which is pretty cool. So we can use this to pillar up, we can use it to bridge out, things like that, and it works very, very nicely. It's just a big backpack, basically. So let's get our wood back out of there. And we lost that wood because we didn't mine it with an axe. We have also made a mechanical squeezer because I was tired of jumping on cobblestone. This thing requires power, so we made these coal generators here, which are pretty easy to craft. I was looking at some early game power, and we found these guys, and these are just furnaces with batteries. Small batteries, you make 4 of them. An iron rod is just 3 iron ingots like so, 2 pieces of redstone dust, and then 10 plates. Now, these I thought were going to be kind of difficult for us to get because we don't have the metal press. We don't have any of these machines, but we have this small plate presser here, which we can take a block of tin and put it in between what looks like a piston and obsidian and get 4 tin plates, but it's actually a small plate presser, not a piston, and a small plate presser is just a piston with 3 iron ingots. So we can place that right here and then flick this lever and that will extend this piston and crush our items into tin plates, making these generators. And then I threw some charcoal in here so that this guy can automatically squeeze some cobblestone and stuff. We have been AFK quite a bit. As you can see, we have 4,400 pieces of charcoal, so that's not an issue. And then back over here, we did make a few more storage drawers, and we did get, just under 1,500 pieces of cobblestone. We've got 1,200 pieces of stone. I did make 128 clay and sand, and then we crushed a bunch of cobblestone to make 384 gravel, and then we also got 193 flint from that. So that is the things that we have done off camera. We've also done a fair bit more mining. We got 612 ingots of iron, we've got 700 copper, we've got 270 lead, 392 gold. Yeah, we've been busy. Our diamonds, no, not so good. Emeralds, not so good, but yep, we have been busy. Now, looking in our advancements, the next thing that we need to do is craft these nature pylons. And it says they need eyes of ender, but you've found the perfect substitute. So if we look at the recipe for the nature pylons, it's 3 terra steel nuggets, an eye of ender, and then a mana pylon. Mana pylon is simply 2 pieces of gold, 2 mana steel, and a mana diamond. Eye of ender needs the blaze powder. Obviously we can't get that until we get to the nether, so luckily for us we have this eye of redstone, which is a ender pearl, a redstone, and then this resonating redstone crystal. This guy is 4 redstone dust and an ender shard, and an ender shard is made with an ender pearl and a glass cutter. The glass cutter is just some iron and a stick, so very easy stuff for us to craft. And as a matter of fact, we have everything in our inventory needed to craft our 2 mana pylons, because we're going to need 2. It wants us to craft 1, but we're going to need 2. We have everything to make our 2 Eye of Redstone, which means we then have everything to make our 2 Natura Pylons. Portable Stabilizer, nice. So the next quest wants us to make this Tome of the Underrealm. Originally, traveling to the Nether would require building a portal in the overworld, but after exchanging some information with the elves, you found that building a glitch portal in the end might just lead you to the Nether. But the Nether is still a dimension of nothingness, so you need to figure out a way to regenerate the Nether, obtain a Tome of the Underrealm. So Tome of the Underrealm is just a book thrown through the Alfheim portal. And a book can be made right here with a couple blank patterns, some paper, and string, which we will craft up real quick. Now with our book crafted up, we can go into our Lexica Botania book. We can go here to Alphomancy, the portal to the Alfheim, and it'll tell you, elves used to share the world with us Minecrafters, but due to unknown events, they went back to their own world. Experimentation has been done to attempt to bridge the gap between the 2 worlds, and means of creating a portal that does just that has been devised. Obviously, we can't go through it, but we can throw items through it. So 8 living wood blocks, 3 glimmering living wood blocks, 1 elven gateway core, read on, and at least 2 mana pools and 2 nature pylons. This is the elven gateway core that we looked at last time, the nature pylons, and this is what the Alfheim portal looks like. Now the cool thing with this is you can visualize this guy, and we can move this around, and let's see. Right here is where I want to put it, so you can right click, and now this thing is visualized where we want it to be. So we do have a bunch of living wood, which is good. So we need living wood here, we need living wood here, we need living wood here, 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 and here. And now what we need to do is we need to craft the Elven Gateway core and then these glimmering living woods. So typically this is crafted with glowstone dust, but obviously we can't get to the nether. So we do have this recipe with the N-biotics. And I have 2 on me, so let me go get 1 more and we will craft these up. Now making that first piece of mana steel, we used basically 3 nuggets for 1 nature pylon, 3 nuggets for the other nature pylon, and then we used the last 3 to make this Elven Gateway core. And that is why we need the Terra Steel. So let's go place these guys down. And then we're going to place the Elven Gateway core. And that is the portal to the Alfheim completed. Now, unfortunately, we're going to need some mana pools, and we're going to need a little bit of mana placed inside of them to open this portal up. And I'm not sure. Things are getting a little janky here. I'm not sure if we can do this or not. And we have our mana tablet. That should be enough. Let's steal a little bit of mana out of this pool. Okay. And cue this guy down over here. Nope. Let's leave it down there. I forgot to mention in the last episode, these mana tablets actually have a neat property, meaning they won't despawn if you leave them out in the world. So if we have enough mana in these pools, we should be able to open the gate by right-clicking the gateway core. Nice. So now we should be able to throw this guy in, and there is our Tome of the Underrealm. Now to get the achievement, we need to right-click it, and it says you can now travel to the nether. Perfect. So the next bit of quests here is getting some grains of infinity. We need to make a sterling generator, and then we're going to get into some deep mob learning. And this is what I want to get into today. I want to get into the deep learner, the simulation chamber, the trial keystone, all of that stuff. After you read that book, you knew exactly what to do. Build a machine that can reconstruct the terrain. Some bedrock can sure help you create infinity out of finity. But where can you find them? On the center end island. If you have slayed the dragon yet, now is the time. So we need to get some grains of infinity and then make a sterling generator. So let's look that up. So this is going to require some stone bricks, a furnace, a piston, a simple machine chassis, which is 1 grain of infinity there, and then we need infinity bimetal gears, which is another 2 grains of infinity. So grains of infinity are made by setting bedrock on fire. So we're going to need to get ourselves a flint and steel, and then head over to the main island. Before we head over to the main island, one thing you should do after you open up this Elven Gateway is cue your Lexica Botania book through it, because now we have even better stuff if we read through that. So we only had the portal to the Alfheim in the Alphomancy. Now we have the resources, we have Elven lore, we have the Gaia ritual, the relics that we can get. Let's see. Right here we have a crystal bow, elementium stuff. There's all kinds of stuff in green that we can actually mess around with now. So it's really, really nice. We have more knowledge from Lexica Botania in the form of this book. Now, one thing to note when setting this bedrock on fire to get these grains of infinity is in the end, the bedrock will stay lit forever. So you have to physically go in here and kind of extinguish it. And there we have a couple of infinity grains. They will not burn up, which is pretty nice. Nice, we got ourselves 8 grains of infinity, so this is a good little place to do that. This pillar here was me trying to go to a realm called the Underworld. I believe it's something from Wizardry. It tells you to jump off a 130 block tall pillar, land on bedrock. When we splatted, it told us that it was locked. So we may try to go there now that we have the Underrealm Tome. I don't know. But let's head back and make ourselves the Sterling Generator. Alright. Some crafting needs to take place, and I forgot to hit shift. So there's our 2 infinity bimetal gears. There's our piston. And we need some iron bars. Good. Simple machine chassis there. We need to take the stone and turn it into stone bricks. And we should have... Nope, we need the furnace. And that is everything for a Sterling Generator. Now this thing is very similar to the coal generator here. We can place in anything that's burnable here. And it's only got an 80% efficiency because this is the simple version. If we turn it into an actual Sterling Generator, which requires a lot of work, this doesn't have an efficiency loss. So we got it. We're going to probably just use the coal generators for now. But our next quest is going to be making this Deep Learner. If you guys remember Sky Factory 4, we did quite a bit with Deep Mob Learning. So this is relatively easy for us just because we have a little bit of knowledge. So first thing we need to do is we need to make a bunch of soot-covered redstone, which is just left-clicking redstone on a block of coal. We're going to go ahead and do a whole stack so we have enough. And bam, there we go. And we need to craft ourselves this Deep Learner, which is going to be some repeaters, any stained glass, and then soot-covered obsidian, which is just 3 obsidian and 1 redstone, gets us 8 of those. So let me get my obsidian out. We're going to need some sticks. Probably a little bit more redstone. And some stone. What else do we need? Ooh, glass pane. I should have some from crafting, from crafting up my dank knoll. Alright. So we need 3 repeaters, so we're going to need 6 of these. Beautiful. We're going to need some of this. Easy enough. And that should be... Nope. Got to actually craft the repeaters. And now we have our Deep Learner. So this thing, if you right-click in it, needs a data module so we can collect data. So we're going to make some of these blank data modules, which is going to require some gold, some lapis, and a piece of stone. I should just put a crafting table back in the storage room. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make... I want to make 8 of these. Do I have enough stuff to make 8 of these? No, we need more lapis. Okay. Or I mean 4, not 8 of these. I want to make 4 data modules. Perfect. So if we look up data module, we have all these different things that we can do here. And I'm mostly looking, obviously, at the Shulker, which is just a Shulker shell. And then we're looking at the Enderman, which obviously is an Ender Pearl. So once we make those data modules, we can then go kill the respective... Ooh, we don't have any shulker shells. So we're going to have to go get us a shulker, but... Uh-oh. Games... There it goes. Alright. So we do have the Endermen. Right here, we need to defeat 6 more to get to the basic tier. And then we're going to need to fight a bunch more to get it to the superior tier, the advanced, and then finally self-aware. So I am going to go fight a bunch of Endermen. I'm going to go get a shulker shell for the shulkers. And we're going to clean up a bunch of our inventory. So I will be back momentarily. So a couple things have happened since the last clip. One of those is we went ahead and made this Rod of the Bifrost. I know we're going to need this later on in the series, so I went ahead and crafted it up. It's just a dragonstone, 2 pixie dust, and 2 elementium ingots. Dragonstone is a mana diamond thrown through the portal of Alfheim. Whoops. And the pixie dust is just an ender pearl the same way. And then the elementium is 2 mana steel ingots thrown through. So this was a relatively easy craft. And the really nice thing about this rod is if we have some mana on us and we do that, let's see. We have to let this now go away, but we can throw bridges across from this island to that island. And I think we're a couple blocks below it. That's why. And you can see in the upper left-hand corner and in my hotbar the time that these stay. So if we wanted to go do a little in-city, exploration, we definitely could with this guy right here. Now maybe this is too far away? No, there it goes. So we have the option now of simply running across a nice little bridge like this and getting from one side to the other without having to worry about ender pearling or things like that. So this is a neat little thing to have. And I crafted that up, and you can also tell by my inventory, we crafted up some terrasteel armor. Look at this stuff. I only made the helmet and the chest plate because the recipe is the same for every piece of terrasteel armor. It requires the respective mana steel part, 3 terrasteel ingots, 2 living wood twigs, and then it requires a rune. For the boots, it's a rune of winter, rune of autumn for the leggings, rune of summer for the chest plate, and then of course a rune of spring for the helmet. Now, I could craft up the rune of spring because we have wheat and saplings. I could craft up the rune of summer because I got melon. Slime balls we can get from dumping cactus into our catalyst. And then 2 pieces of sand are relatively easy, but this rune of autumn requires a spider's eye, which we can get from crafting up some things that we don't have yet. And the terrasteel boots require a cake. This requires egg and milk, some things that we don't unfortunately have at the moment. So we'll have to wait until we can get to the nether, and then we will get those things. But I want to go over to a new waystone, which is called the Shulker Spawner. And there's our base over there. We built this platform here, and it is quite a ways away from the islands. I did light these islands up for no spawns. Should be far enough away from those. And while I was over at the main end island killing Endermen, which by the way we have a self-aware tier, I was trying to kill some shulkers in that little end city, the Botania one, to get the shulker shell needed to craft this data module up. And while I was in there, I noticed that the shulkers actually spawned in. So using my iron chest transporter, we got ourselves a shulker. I don't know if I can actually do this now because... Yes, we can. Yeah, we got ourselves a shulker spawner, which is pretty awesome. So I should be able to bust these guys down like this, and hopefully these guys will spawn in. They will. I wasn't ready. I'll let those 2 fight it out. Now, one thing I also did was I put a roof on this. I put some ceilings, or some fence, so we didn't have to worry about getting kind of knocked away from this platform too bad. And hopefully we can just sit here and kill these guys. There's the basic tier, which is really nice. I'm not 100% sure what these guys can teleport. And we're going to go home. So I don't have to deal with it. And hopefully we can get just hung up in here. Perfect. Excellent. So I'm going to kill a bunch more shulkers to get this data module up to the self-aware tier as well. And obviously, it's not going to take too long. I did everything in half slabs and fences over there, like I said, in hopes that these guys couldn't spawn. So I'm going to go kill those guys with my broadsword, and I always do that. I throw this thing down. But we also did craft up this end battle sign, which was relatively easy to craft up. It is just a tool rod and a sign plate. We went ahead and utilized some cactus on it, which gives it that spiky modifier. If we throw it in here, blocking and getting hurt deals damage to the attacker. So we can have this thing on our shield slot, and when we get hit by the shulkers or we do any kind of damage to the shulkers, they will take damage. So I'm going to grab my Ring of Magnetization, which we crafted up. It's just 4 mana steel and a mana lens magnetizing, which is gold and iron ingot around a mana lens. This is 4 mana steel with a glass pane. Really, really easy to craft. And we're going to throw that in our bauble slot. Yeah, we made the greater band of mana as well. This was just our mana pearl, or our band of mana with Terra Steel. There we go. So I'm going to have that on so I can collect the drops from the shulkers, and we are going to fight ourselves a few of them. That really didn't take too long. I was kind of surprised, but we got these guys to the self-aware tier, and if we look at the pristine, I think I talked about this a little bit, the pristine shulker matter, this guy right here, we can make shulker shells or diamonds in a loot fabricator. Now, I did want to go ahead and continue this quest line right here, getting the simulation chamber and then the trial keystone. That would lead us over here to the glitched obsidian, which we need to make the portal to go to the nether. But, unfortunately, that was... oops. The simulation chamber requires a comparator, which requires nether quartz, or pure nether quartz crystal, or silicone, and this silicone ingot here can be made in a sag milling clay, redstone ore, or sand to get it, and we're going to need a comparator for the loot fabricator, we're going to need it for the simulation chamber, and we're also going to need I want to get the drawer controller, which requires 2 comparators. So we're going to have to pivot away from the deep mob learning, and we need to make ourselves a sag mill and an alloy smelter. So I went ahead off camera and crafted 2 of these simple machine chassis, which are the grains of infinity surrounded by the iron bars. And we need some stone gears, and it looks like I need 3 pieces of flint as well. I do believe we are going to need 4 of these stone gears, so we're going to need 4 of these wooden gears. Good to go. And 4 of those. Good to go. We should be able to make the simple sag mill. And the alloy smelter, we need 2 furnaces and a bucket. I know I crafted up the furnace. I did. As far as the bucket, no. But we have the means to craft up a bucket relatively easy. Alloy smelter, done. So these two machines combined with the Stirling generator that we made earlier should get us a nice little setup, and I don't know why that would not click. I think what we're going to do is we're going to set up this setup right here. Sag mill and alloy smelter. So we can put some stuff in here to burn, like coal or anything like that, and these guys will produce power, and then we can sag mill things. But you see right there, leakage, 0.05. UI/T. That's redstone flux per tick. It's whatever the Ender IO stuff is. So we can get ourselves a little bit of sand from over here in the base. And let's put away the iron. We'll grab ourselves a stack, and we will go ahead and start sag milling this to try to get some silicone. Clay has a better chance of actually getting... Is this a sag mill? It is. Clay actually has a better chance of getting silicone. Like, this won't give you a silicone ingot every time. It's a 50% chance. So far, we're doing great. There we go. We finally missed one. But I hear... Nope. I thought I heard something. Some weird noise off in the distance. Anyway, we can utilize this alloy smelter now to make alloys such as pulsating iron, which would be iron and an ender pearl. We can put that into this alloy smelter and craft those up. We can use this for regular smelts, things like that, at the cost of power. But of course, our power is being generated by the fuel. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Let this finish its process until it's completely done. And we're going to get all of the things now to go ahead and craft up the loot fabricator, the simulation chamber, and we are going to craft up that drawer controller. Alrighty, we have the drawer controller here. And what we can do now is if I have, a couple bits of copper, a couple bits of gold, we have a couple bits of tin, we have some things here, and we can double right click the drawer controller, and now all of those bits are gone. We can take this a step further by utilizing some of this trim that we crafted up. And if we go down here, and get rid of that stuff, we can use trim here. And let's get our dank null out. I forgot that all of our endstone went in there. So if we get some chorus fruit and we get a little bit of cactus and some watermelon, it does not connect up. It should, via the trim underneath here. That is interesting. I should be able to connect all these guys up with trim. And it should not matter. So the copper went in, but why did you not go in? Alright, I think I figured it out. I think that the drawers do not like any of this wormwood stuff, so I made these framed trims here. So if we grab some mineral stuff and some cactus, lead, apples, bunch of stuff, you got an inventory full. You double right click on this, and now you can see all of that stuff went away, except for the gravel, because it's over here. So if we grab a couple more pieces of our framed trim, which we need to go ahead and craft up one more set, and I don't have any of the stuff. Let's go ahead and grab these. We can place these here and here, and then we'll grab that, and we'll grab that. We'll go ahead and craft up one more batch of these boys. I was going to say these bad boys, and then I just said these boys. Oh, it's been a long day. Alright. Bam. Like so. So if we grab one gray petal and we grab one sand, one gray petal, and this gravel, disappears. Perfect. So now our drawer system is completely set up to this drawer controller right here. This controls the whole system. These are limited in the distance in which they go. I think it's like 12 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think it would reach to about here. And that's as far as we can go with this. And I really like this system. It's going to save me a lot of time bringing my items back and throwing them into places. We are going to need to put in maybe a couple more drawers for things like the shulker shells. You know, we got a couple in here. Can throw these in here for now, but some of these things are collecting quite a bit. Like obsidian, we may put a drawer in for. We may put in a drawer for mana steel. Might not be bad. Actually, we could use one of these guys, but I think we're going to put in some more drawers here and then probably go compacting drawers over here as well. I'm not sure. Excuse me. Anyway, that is going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, leave a like if you did. While you're down there smashing that like button, make sure to hit the notification bell right next to it. Also, check out the description for all of the different ways to follow me. And I will see you on the next one.